Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel Physics, where we actually learn physics. So in our previous lectures, we have talked about what are significant figures, right? As well as we have talked about the rules, okay? Rules to determine the number of significant figures in a given measured quantity, isn't it? Okay, also if you see the previous lecture, exactly previous lecture, over there we have talked about how to round off any number, okay, how to round off any number to a particular number of significant figures. Okay, so we have seen that also. Now in this lecture we are gonna see both. Okay, we'll see both. We'll see the significant figures also, as well as we will see the rules of rounding off. Okay, we will see both, not only the significant figures but the rules to round off. But this is little bit different from the previous lectures. Okay, over here we are gonna see the rules. Okay, we are gonna see the rules to round off the result of an arithmetic operations. Okay, result of an arithmetic operation. That is what we are gonna see over here. See, there are various operations that we do. Basically, if you see, there are four operations. One is addition, subtraction, then multiplication, and then division. So these are the four basic mathematical operations that we do. Okay, so now after doing these operations, you will get some number, right? You will get some result. Okay, when you multiply two numbers, add two numbers, you get some result. Okay, so now over here we are gonna learn the rules to round off the result, of the operation. Okay, now you might just ask, we have already seen the rules to round off. Okay, so why can't we just use those rules to round off this answer also? Okay, why can't we just use those rules? So the thing is, yes, we are gonna use those rules only, but here there are very particular cases that we need to understand very well. Okay, when we talk about these mathematical operations and their results, there are particular rules that need to be followed while rounding off those numbers. That is very important. Otherwise, you might end up with something that is little bit superfluous. Okay, little bit confusing, little bit, a number that gives a wrong idea about the measurement. Okay, you might end up with something else. So that should not happen. That's why we need some rules actually, okay, for rounding off the result of mathematical operations. Okay, now you might just ask, why exactly do we need these rules? What is the need of these rules? Okay, what is special with these mathematical operations? What special thing happens over here that we need to consider them separately? Why do we not use the rounding off rules directly? Okay, why don't we use those rules that we have studied in our previous lecture directly? Why don't we use that? So the answer is pretty simple actually. Answer is there for this. The question is 100% valid. Okay, why do we need this? Why do we need this? Question is right, answer is even better. Okay, so to understand this, we will take one simple example. Okay, see, first of all, in this lecture we will talk about why exactly we need these rules, and then we will talk about those rules. Rules are pretty simple. There are only two rules, but important thing is knowing why do we need these rules. Okay, that is important. Now let's try to understand why we require these rules, okay, with a simple example. Okay, suppose we have got two numbers. Okay, let's say A is equal to 1.234. okay, just example. And let's say we have another number, let's say B is equal to 5.67. just example. Okay, nothing else, just example. Now just notice these numbers and see the difference. Okay, Now you already know what are significant figures and how to find out those. So you must have already identified what are the significant figures over here and here. So you can just notice here that here we have got 4 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all the non-zero digits are significant. Then over here, if you go, here we have got 1, 2, 3, 3 significant figures. Also, if you note here, here we have got 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. So decimal places are 3. And if you go here, we have got 1 and 2. We have got only 2 decimal places. Okay. So you can clearly see the difference between the two numbers in terms of the number of significant figures and the number of decimal places. And definitely in science, okay, you will definitely come across such examples many times while you are doing calculations with various physical quantities. You know, you have lots of formulas in physics or in other, let's say, maths or something else. Okay, you have lots of formulas where you need to put a lot of values, and these values will have different number of significant figures or different number of decimal places. Okay, now let's say we are doing some operation on these numbers. Okay, let's say we are multiplying these numbers. Okay, so I will just multiply 1.234 into 5.67. okay, so we are multiplying these two numbers. So let's see what will be the answer. I will use my calculator over here. Okay, so for quick calculations, 1.234 into 5.67. okay, so the answer is 6.99678. okay, 678. So that's our answer. Okay, so that's okay, isn't it? That's right, that's the answer given by the calculator. Okay, even if you also go and calculate this, you will get the same number. Okay, you can check that. Okay, so that's fine, isn't it? But is it really fine? Is it right? That is the question, isn't it? Okay, so the answer is no, this is not the right way of writing it actually. Okay, this is not the actual way in which the result of these measured quantities should be represented. Okay, result of the operation of these quantities should not be written like this. There are some things that need to be considered. First of all, if you remember, I said about significant figures that significant figures talk about the precision. Okay, significant figures talk about the precision of the instrument. Okay, if any digit, okay, if any digit in the measured quantity, given quantity, represents the precision of the instrument, then that digit is definitely significant. Okay, so over here, if you see here, these are all significant figures. Here also these are all significant figures, and they talk about the precision of the instrument. Okay, all these digits, or we can say these number of significant figures, they talk about the precision of the instrument. Okay, so here we have got 4 significant figures, here we have got 3 significant figures. Okay, so these digits talk about the precision. Okay, so you can see here that this one, okay, this number 1.234 has been measured, okay, has been measured up to a resolution, okay, up to a resolution of 3rd decimal place only. Okay, it has been resolved up to 3rd decimal place. Here you can note that this number 5.67 has been resolved up to 2nd decimal place only. Okay, so you can see the resolution of these given numbers. The maximum resolution, okay, is 3rd decimal place in both of these numbers. Okay, here it is 2, here it is 3. So maximum is 3. If you look at the answer of this operation, here this number has been resolved up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 decimal places. Okay, this has been resolved up to 5 decimal places. Now, just ask yourself, can the answer, okay, can the answer of this operation, okay, be resolved to more number of decimal places than the actual numbers? Can it happen? Resolution means what? Precision. So, in a way, just ask yourself, can the answer, okay, can the answer of this operation be more precise than the values themselves? Can it be more precise? Definitely no. How can it be more precise? Isn't it? How can it be more precise? Definitely no. No ways, isn't it? Definitely it cannot be more precise than this one. Okay, so this suggests us that there is something wrong over here. Okay, our answer cannot be more precise than the actual values on which the operation is done. So we need to do something over here. We have to round off this number. Okay, we have to round off this answer to proper number of significant figures, isn't it? We have to round off this result to proper number of significant figures. Definitely, isn't it? So that means there must be some rules. There must be some rules, okay, for rounding off the answers of mathematical operations, because here we have got different operations. Each operation goes in a different way. Okay, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, all these are little bit different. So everyone must have, you know, some rule, some ground rules. Okay, if you even if you add this, okay, you can see here 1.234 and this 5.67. when you add this, it would be 4, 0, okay, this is 9 and 6. Okay, so that is the addition of these numbers. Okay, that is the addition of these numbers. You can see here, as we have already seen, that the last digit has got the uncertainty because of what? The least count error. Now here already the second, okay, already the second decimal place possesses that uncertainty. Okay, already the second decimal place possesses the uncertainty. So should we write here the third decimal place? Should we be writing the third decimal place over here? Is it necessary? Because already there is uncertainty in this number. So is there a necessity to write this third decimal place? Okay, so these are all questions. Okay, so there must be some answers to these questions, and that is the reason why we have defined rules. We have defined rules for arithmetic operations. Okay, how to round off the result of arithmetic operations. That's why we have designed these rules properly. And these rules talk about all these mathematical operations and their results, and what number of significant figures should be retained in any answer. Okay, any answer of any mathematical operation. That is what we are gonna learn in this. So I hope this is clear. Why exactly do we need these rules? Okay, you can see here, why do we need these rules? There must be some ground rules specified to remove these uncertainties, remove these confusions. Just like over here, the answer becomes more precise than the values. That is not possible. That will convey a wrong message. Same here, this will also convey a wrong message because already the second decimal place is uncertain. How can we write, and why should we write the third decimal place in the answer? Okay, that would be quite superfluous. Okay, so that is not the way of doing it. That is the reason why we have specified some rules. Okay, so let's see what are these rules. There are only 2 rules, very simple rules, okay, that you need to understand. Okay, so we are going to divide this. Okay, first is the rule for addition and subtraction. Okay, for both addition and subtraction, the rule is same. Okay, for both addition and subtraction, the rule is same. And second would be the rule for multiplication and division. Okay, multiplication and division and or whatever. Okay, so you have got the same rules for both of these. Okay, so let's see. First of all, let's start with the addition or subtraction. Okay, so here the question is, how many significant figures or how many decimal places should we retain in the answer? And the rules are talking about that only. These rules talk about how many significant figures or how many decimal places should be retained in any given number, any given answer of the operation. That is what these rules talk about. So let's see what number of significant figures and what number of decimal places are retained over here. Let's talk about addition first of all. Okay, so the rule says that, okay, over here the rule says that the result of operation, okay, the result of operation of addition and subtraction, okay, the result of operation of addition and subtraction must retain as many decimal places, okay, as many decimal places as there are in a number with least number of decimal places. Okay, just see the rule, just listen to this carefully what I am saying. Okay, the rule says that, okay, the rule says that the result of operation of addition or subtraction must retain as many decimal places. Okay, just notice this word, decimal places, should retain as many decimal places as there are in a number with least number of decimal places. I will tell you the example. Okay, suppose we have got these two numbers 1.234, okay, 1.234, and second is 5.67. so let's say you are adding these two numbers. Okay, now the question is, how many decimal places should be retained in the answer? So the answer is over here 409, okay, then here 6. Okay, that is our answer, right? So over here you can see there are 3 decimal places. So the rule says that you should retain only as many number of decimal places as there are in a number with least number of decimal places. Just check, these are the two numbers that you are adding. Out of these two numbers, just check which one has got least number of decimal places. So you can clearly see here we have 3, here we have 2. So which is least? This one, 2. So the answer must also retain only 2. Okay, must also retain only 2. That is the rule. Okay, so that means this number would be rounded off. Now this is 4. This is less than 5. So that means it would be ignored or just neglected from there, just cancelled from there. Okay, so now the answer would be this 6.90. That would be the correct way of writing the answer. Okay, in this way we have rounded off the result of an operation to required significant figures only. Okay, so you can check this. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is same applicable to subtraction also. Now you can take any number of examples over here. Here I will tell you one more example. Okay, over here let's say we have got same numbers 1.234, but here we have got another number. Let's say we have got 5,678, okay, 0.9. Okay, so that is the number. Okay, but I will just write it properly. Okay, so let's write it properly. It is 5,678.9. so that is the number, and let's say we are adding these two numbers. Okay, Now just check here. If you check here, this number has got more number of significant figures than this number. Okay, than this number. But remember, we don't care about the significant figures, number of significant figures in this rule. Okay, for addition and subtraction, what we care about is this number of decimal places only, nothing else. Just remember this very carefully. Okay, so just forget this, what are the number of significant figures here? Just forget, just care about this. Okay, just check which number has got least number of significant figures. So here this has got least, and check how many decimal places are there. Only one. So the answer would also contain only one decimal place. Same here, you can see, just check out of these two numbers which one has got least number of significant figures here, and check how many are there. 1, 2, 2. So the answer would also contain only 2. That is the rule. Okay, so this is the rule for addition or subtraction. I will just repeat it again. The rule says that the result of operation of addition or subtraction must retain as many decimal places as there are, okay, as many decimal places as there are in a number with least number of decimal places. Okay, so now we will see the rule for multiplication or division. Okay, so the rule is common for both of them. Okay, so let's see what is the rule. Okay, just now over here we talked about multiplication, but we did not talk about the rule. So let's see here what is the rule exactly, and how many decimal places or how many significant figures must be retained. That is what we will see. So the rule over here, okay, the rule over here says that the result of operation, okay, the result of operation of multiplication or division must retain as many significant figures. Highlight this word, significant figures. Okay, must retain as many significant figures as there are in a number with least number of significant figures. Okay, I will repeat again. Okay, the result of an operation, okay, the result of an operation of multiplication or division must retain as many significant figures as there are in a number with least number of significant figures. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Okay, so the answer is pretty clear. So over here, let's take the same example. 1.234 multiplied with 5.67. Okay, just example. So we already know the answer over here. So it is 6.99678. Okay, 6.99678. Okay, now what do we mean by this? Now the rule says that the answer must retain as many significant figures as there are in a number with least number of significant figures. Now see, you have two numbers. So out of these two numbers, just identify that number which has got least number of significant figures. Okay, least, that means smallest number of significant figures. Okay, sometimes it will be more than two values also, like you are multiplying a into b into c. Okay, so in that case, out of all those values, just check which value has got least number of significant figures. So you can just identify this number over here has got least number of significant figures, and now identify how many are the significant figures. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what is the step? first identify the number with least number of significant figures, and then what you do is identify how many number of significant figures are there. So here we have 3 significant figures. This is the number with least number of significant figures, and there are 3 significant figures. So the answer of this should also be rounded off, to only 3 significant figures, nothing more than that. Okay, nothing more than that. So here we have got 6 significant figures, so that should not be the case. The answer must be rounded off to only 3 significant figures. Okay, according to the rule. What is the rule over here? Rule says that the result of operation of multiplication or division must retain as many significant figures as there are in a number with least number of significant figures. So this is the number with least number of significant figures, and there are 3 significant figures. So answer must also contain only 3 significant figures. So what we will do is we will round off using the rules of rounding off. We have to round off this number to only 3 significant figures. Okay, that means it should contain only 3 digits. Okay, so that means these 3 digits have to be dropped, right? These 3 digits have to be dropped from here. So we check. Okay, what we do is we check if the number, okay, if the digit to be dropped is greater than 5. Okay, if it is greater than 5, then the preceding digit is incremented by 1. So same here we will do. So this number is greater than 5, so the preceding number would be incremented by 1. So what we will have is this number is dropped, and over here this 7 becomes 8, right? This is incremented. Now again we do the same thing here. This is greater than 5, so the preceding one will be incremented by again 1. Okay, so 8 is dropped and 6 becomes 7. Okay, now again this 7 is what? 7 is greater than 5, so the previous or the preceding digit should be incremented by 1. Okay, so this is gone, this 7 is gone, and this 9 is incremented by 1, so it becomes 10. So here we will have 0. Okay, here we will have 0. Okay, and 1 will be carry forward. Okay, so 9 plus 1 will be again 10. So again we will have 0 over here, and 1 will be incremented. So 6 plus 1 will be 7. So that would be our final answer. Okay, that should be our final answer over here, 7.00. Now you might just say, why to write these 0 and 0? Okay, why can't we just write 7? Is it fine? So numerically it is fine, but scientifically it is not fine. Okay, over here these 2 digits, they talk about the precision of the answer. They talk about the precision. Okay, so that's why we should retain these 2 zeros also. Okay, in some cases you will not end up with zeros, you will end up with some numbers, some digits from 1 to 9. So we have to retain all these numbers, all these digits. So zeros, even if it is 0, still we have to retain it according to the rules. Okay, so it would be 7.00. That would be our final answer. Okay, this is the case of multiplication or division. Okay, same rules apply for division also. Okay, so I hope this is clear how we have done this. Just understand the difference between the 2 rules. Over here we consider the decimal places. Just remember this. Over here we consider the decimal places, and over here we consider what? We consider the significant figures. Okay, we consider the significant figures. Okay, over here we check for that number which has got least number of decimal places. Okay, and our answer also contain only that many number of decimal places. Okay, and here we check for significant figures. Okay, we check for that number which has got least number of significant figures, and the answer of our operation would also have that many number of significant figures. Okay, so that is the method, or that is the step, that is the process, that is the rule, okay, for rounding up the result of arithmetic operations. Okay, so here we have got two rules. Okay, one for addition and subtraction, and other is for multiplication and division. Okay, so I hope these rules are very clear to all of you. Okay, it's pretty clear, it's very easy. Important thing is this: why do we need these rules? So I told you that also, why do we need these rules? Okay, so that is also important, and this is also important. See, on these topics, questions can be asked actually in your exams. Sometimes in JEE also they can be asked. Okay, questions like these can be asked, because sometimes we might just write this as an answer. Okay, they will give you these two numbers to multiply, and you will write this as an answer. Okay, or in the case of a CET or JEE, they will give you this also in the option. Okay, or maybe one digit dropped, something like that. So you might just click on this, so that will be wrong. You have to round up to right number of significant figures, right number of decimal places. That is the rule. Okay, so you have to be very careful. So for that you need to know these rules. Okay, otherwise you will end up with the wrong answer. Okay, so this is it for now. Okay, I hope everything is clear. I hope these rules are pretty clear. I hope why these rules are required is also clear. Okay, so in case of any doubts, if you have any doubts, still you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, but I hope there will be no comments regarding the doubts. Okay, because I feel everything is clear, but still if you have any doubts, you can definitely ask. I will definitely answer. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching me. Have a nice day. See you. Bye bye.